My name is Brett Perlmutter, and I'm the head of Google Cuba. It is my distinct privilege to welcome today's Talk at Google special guest, world-renowned musician, stellar human being, hailing from the island of Cuba, Mr. Harold López-Nussa. Bienvenidos. Please join me in welcoming him. Es un placer tenerte aquí con nosotros hoy. A ustedes también. Today's talk is about music, and it's not about just enjoying music. It's about letting music be the fabric that binds us. It's about music being a tool to bridge countries, to build bilateral relations, to build multilateral relations, to bring people together. Today's talk is also about Cuba. It's about what's happening in Cuba. It's about why Cuba punches above its weight artistically and creatively. And it's about using the internet as a platform to share this content, this culture, this rich, rich musical history with the rest of the world. Entonces, Harold, que bola. Everyone here is really anxious to hear from you. We want to hear your music. We want to hear your stories. We're going to have a lot of questions for you, but I'd be remiss to start if I didn't tell the audience a little bit about you. Harold was born in Centro Havana, Cuba, to a family of esteemed musicians. He started playing piano when he was only 8 years old. And after that, he was a part of many very famous and prestigious Cuban musical conservatories. After graduating from the Instituto Superior de Artes, the ISA, he toured with Omara Portuondo of the Buena Vista Social Club. And he worked with the Cuban National Symphony Orchestra before releasing his first album, Canciones, in 2007. Now, at a mere age of 35 years old, jazz pianist Harold López-Nussa has attained the kind of international recognition that most musicians only could dream of. First place at the Montreux Jazz Festival Solo Piano Competition, a performance at Paris's legendary Olympia, yearly North American and European tours, and multiple album releases to his name. López-Nussa's music reflects the full range and richness of the canon of Cuban music, with its distinctive combination of classical, folkloric, and popular elements, as well as the embrace of jazz improvisation and interaction. López-Nussa chose the new album's title, Un Día Cualquiera, which means just another day, because, in his words, the idea is to put the music and the trio together in a studio and just play, the way we three do every day, any day, like a concert in the living room of your house. So, welcome, Harold, to Google's home. Today, this is your living room.
El Equa, echó a la guana, ni cocori villa, para atento no manico manicondolo, y cuyelendo, para quillelu, hecho a fra, a la goma go, a la mubata, para su ayo, omoni a la guana con mamá que ñirawo, Elegua, esto a la guana, ni cocorivilla, para atento no manico manicondor, y cuyelete, para quillelu, hecho a fra, a la goma go, a la mubata. Elegua, 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 elegua.
serve some water after that. Congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. We're also really appreciate it.
Thanks. It's a wonderful Google experience for us. So thank you.
Fabulous. So, to kick things off, you always said affirmatively that music bridges barriers. Your last album before this one was called Viaje, which is so it came out right when the films of President Obama's visit to Cuba in 2016. Can you tell us about
Cuban government. That's helped a lot to Cuban artists. So that was the way that I get the chance to make a deal with an American label and have my first American label album release, which was El Viaje, The Journey. So I think that was incredible for Cuban people and for Cuban artists in my case, musicians, painters, writers, everybody. We get more clothes from American artists. We get more clothes from American people, and I think that's what almost all the people in Cuba want.
And what is El Viaje? What's the trip?
Well, the trip is, you can travel with the music. You can travel. That was the idea. We did this album with with a Senegal bass player and singer that we made in Paris. So, and all this thanks to the music, because music make us travel physically and spiritually, of course. So that was the point with El Viaje. So music from many different places, from Africa, from Europe, from Cuba, of course, and of course from here, jazz. So.
It's fabulous.
Thanks, man.
So let's change topics slightly. I had the privilege of seeing you perform most recently in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts at the Artes de Cuba Festival.
Yeah.
And you were there with your brother and your uncle and your father,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken. So it's a family affair. What is the role of family, and how has that created your musical identity?
Well, it's really important for me. Have the chance to born in Havana. My mother, she was a piano teacher. My father, he played drums. My uncle, he played piano. My grandmother, who teach me a lot of things about music, she was a piano player, not professional, but great piano player. The piano that I have in my house is from her today. So they teach us the love to the music, and I think that I learned from my grandmother this that I try to say every time. Music put people together. I went to many concerts with her, and I remember that she was telling me all the time, you see all these people here just listening to the music. This helped the world. And I'm sure music helped the world. Help people be together, sitting together, no matter your race, no matter your religion, no matter anything, politic, no matter anything. Music is the language, universal language, and can put people together, and no doubt about that. So, and I grew up taking a lot of advice from my family, from my father, from my uncle, from my mother, and now be able to play with my father and my uncle in the same band is wonderful. It's something that I want to do more and more, because now I'm sharing my music with them, and I'm playing my own composition. For me, it's very special. I was learning from them, then they are learning my own composition. So this is something that I really appreciated, and I really love to do.
That's beautiful. And are your kids going to be musicians?
I don't know. I have two daughters, and they dance all the day. So I don't know if they will be dancing or musicians, but they love music.
Something related to art.
That's sure, yeah.
That's great. So the other thing I wanted to mention about the Kennedy Center is at Google, we had the great fortune to be able to participate by live streaming the event.
Really?
So
Wow.
people could see it live on YouTube. And we actually had a live stream set up in La Habana, so people in Cuba could see the live stream. Which brings me to this general concept of how can the internet help promote Cuban arts and Cuban culture and Cuban music? How can platforms like Google or YouTube help share what's so special about what you're doing?
could be like the most important way to promote the art, man. It's the future. I mean, this is the way that the things happen today. And in Cuba, we're like far away from that. So because we don't have internet connection, it's very hard to get internet connection. Everybody know that. So I remember that when I was in Washington and my family was, you know, I didn't know that was thanks to Google, but thank you. Because my family watched the, you know, the concert that happened at Kennedy Center in
That's
Cuba,
great.
and that was great.
Fabulous.
You know? Fabulous. This is unique, and this is the future. You cannot stop that. It's wonderful. The power to have internet to promote art is something that we need to take with us and do things with this. Yeah.
So if Google could wave its magic wand and grant all of your internet wishes, what would they be?
Sir,
So if we had the ability
Yeah.
to do anything, you know, in our magic ball, if we had
Yeah.
magic, and you could grant, or if we could grant your wish, what would your wish be as
put
Google?
put internet in Cuba, man.
Okay, de acuerdo. Okay, ya está.
Por favor, please.
Ya está. Okay, cool. So I want to talk about kind of the roots and the tradition of your music and your compositions. You come from a very, very rich musical history that I don't think outside of Cuba people understand the depth of. And your music even has traces of Afro-Cuban
Yeah.
music. I think one of your songs is La Negra que Bailaba.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about the antecedents of your own music?
Well, yeah, definitely. Our music have a lot of influence, different influence, and we have a great tradition in Cuba about traditional Cuban music that we call like popular music, and we have this Afro-Cuban rhythm related to African religious, Yoruba, Awagwa. The first song that we just played is called Elegua, and Elegua is one of the gods in the Yoruba religion, and they have his own. When they do a ceremony, they sing for Elegua, and they have the bata drums playing a rhythm, and they have people who sing. And this composition that we did is we took this roots with each the bata drums made something like and then they sing we put some voice over there, so we took that from there and then we tried to put in our way of today until the jazz more contemporary. That's from there, and then from the son, from the cha-cha-cha, from the bolero, from many places. So I think that our music have a lot from there, and then of course from the jazz, because we are in love with jazz, and we listen a lot. I was listening a lot jazz when I was a kid in my home, and also with classical great composer, because the three of us, we studied in the school like classical music. This is what we learn in Cuba. When you learn music, it's just about classical. So the three of us, we study all the great classical and European composers. So I think it's a mix between all of this, and more things are coming every day. So.
That's wonderful. So who are your jazz inspirations?
Whoa, I have many. I remember my father used to listen a lot of Mike Davis and Bill Evans in my house. This gave me a lot of inspiration. Chick Corea, Herbie Hancock. My uncle introduced me to the world of Keith Jarrett. He's a huge fan as well as me. And then a lot of Cuban musicians, I know, from Benny Moreno until Rubén González, Bebo Valdés, the father of Chucho Valdés, two greatest piano players from Cuba. From many musicians that inspires us a lot. Yeah.
So what was it like to grow up in your house?
Oh, a little crazy. I remember we was born. My brother he played drums with me, and we was born in a very little apartment in Central Havana. So I remember that we have the dining room with the piano of my mother, and then in a kind of mezzanine, the drums of my father, and the bed of my mother and my father. So yeah, we have all day friends of my father coming to my house and play, some students from my mother coming to my house and take lessons. So music was like part of our day, like play baseball, eat, You know, see television and listen to music. It's something, yeah.
It's basically in your blood.
Yeah, definitely.
So, who here knows the Buena Vista Social Club? I think almost everyone. Tell us about your experience with Omara.
Well, that was amazing for me. Omara, she was famous in the world thanks to Buena Vista Social Club, but she has been famous in Cuba forever. So when I was a kid, she was from forever. She is like one of the greatest artists in Cuba from all times. I was very lucky to be able to play with her, travel with her. I was traveling with her for three years all around the world. I was able to record with her and invite her to one of my cities. And she's a wonderful person. She's so smart. She's so cute. And she's so talented. That was amazing for me. And I learned a lot of things. I learned the respect for the music. Is at that level, it's like, you know, I remember that we getting back from a 3-month tour to Cuba, and I was just sitting in my sofa of my living room, and I put the television. I saw Maren live on the TV. How she can do that? She's in the music all the time. So that's help, you know, and that give me a lot of more respect for the music and more love to the music. Yeah, she showed me that.
So that must have been one of your most formative experiences working with her.
Definitely. Yeah.
What else was another formative experience in your career?
Oh, many things. You know, for example, right now, I have the chance to be able to play in the States, who was also a dream for me for many years. I took my music to the American audience, and I have been able to do it thanks to many people who helped me. Great manager that I have that is American. Great people who really support us and help us to be here tonight and tomorrow in Iowa and then in Monterey and then San Francisco. And this is wonderful. This is the most important for me, is take my music to different audience, see the reaction, make new friends, know new people. That was always my dream. That when I was a kid, and it's still my dream, get more attention in my music. This is something that not many musicians can do. So I'm very proud and I'm very grateful to be able to do that. Yeah.
So what was your first visit to the United States?
Was with Omara, like some years ago, maybe 10. But then with my own project was like 6 years ago, I think. I made this little tour, just my brother and I. We even was not able to have a bass player with us because we was in the very beginning. So we did some concert in California, and we played in New York for one day. From there until today, we have been coming every year, like 2, 3, 4 times. So I'm very happy to be able to do that.
So it sounds like you've learned a lot from your experience in the United States.
I'm sorry?
It sounds like you've learned a lot from your experience in the United States.
I'm learning, and I'm mostly learning about people in the United States who are incredible. You know, we are so close from the people, the real people in the United States. In Cuba, we have a lot of things in common. We love the same things. We love baseball. Baseball we love in Cuba. You love baseball here. So we love music, of course. We love jazz in Cuba. You guys, you love Cuban music. So it's, you know, there's many things in common. So I'm very happy to come here more and more.
And we're happy to have you.
Well, thanks.
So for people from the United States and people watching around the world, what should we learn from you? What should we learn from Cubans?
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe that we don't care about, well, we care, but even when we are not able to get all that we need, we are able to be happy with what we are, with what we have. I'm sorry, I don't know if I explain myself.
Perfect.
But yeah, I mean, people in Cuba, they share a lot of things. That's what I love the more in Cuba. They share sugar, they share salt, they share chicken, they share music, they share life. life is very close from one from other. I'm very close with all my neighborhood over there. I know everybody know me, say hello to me in the streets. That's very, for me. I have a lot of support. I feel that I have a lot of support from people in Cuba. So this is something different. The life is quite different here. Sometimes it's not that good because sometimes your neighborhood, he put the music like loud at 1 a.m. in the morning, and you can't say anything because you did last weekend. You did the same thing. So, but well.
So you're on this tour. You're here in Google, New York. You said you're going to California, to San Francisco, and going around the United States. You've just been in Spain, in France, in Japan. You're from Centro Havana. Did you ever think you would be doing this?
No, never. That was always a dream, but no, that's more than I was expecting. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm trying to do it. I hope that I'm keep the level to keep doing that and to deserve that. This is wonderful.
It's fabulous. Well, I have one last question, but before I ask it, I want to ask folks from the audience if they have questions to please stand up, and you can come up to the mics and ask anything and everything that you would like.
Yeah.
Please, if you just go up to the mic so your question is recorded.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Cuban.
Oh, wow.
I've
Nice
been
to meet
once to Cuba, but my parents were born there.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And my question is, what do you miss most about Cuba when you're abroad?
When I outside
When you're
Cuba,
traveling,
oh,
yeah.
my family and my friends. I have 2 little daughters. I have a wife, and I have a lot of friends. And I miss them a lot. Yeah.
And have your daughters come to the States?
Oh, I took one of, the bigger one who have only 5. I took her like 20 days ago on tour with me for a week. So she was able to get to New York, Boston. She was like getting crazy with United States. She's telling all their friend over there, oh, I was there. So, yeah.
Well, your performance was incredible. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Please.
Hi, thanks for coming and giving us such a great performance.
My pleasure.
When I was watching you play like this, it was totally crazy, and I'm curious, like, how much is improv versus you're gonna play exactly that stuff?
Oh, there's a lot of improv. Yeah, we have like a song that we do just the song, and then it's just improvisation. So we took from there and we try to create things. And of course, when you do this like every day, sometimes you do same things, that same phrase that you did yesterday. But we are always trying to don't do the same things. So this is the complicated part, to be able to create every day a different phrase, a different rhythm in the improvisation. But there is a lot, definitely. And with those guys who knows me that well, for me it's very easy. They always give me something to create. So yeah, we listen to each other a lot, and from there we try to create. Yeah.
Was it hard to learn music from your parents?
No, they helped me a lot. I mean, my mother, she was sitting with me in the piano when I was a kid, trying to study and practice it with me a lot. I was like, I don't want to. I want to play baseball. And she was, no, you need to do it one more time. So, but thanks to that, I'm able today to play piano. But they support me a lot. Not just when I was a little kid. Then when I was trying to change from classical music to play something else like jazz or Cuban music, they support me a lot. I didn't have this support from my teachers, but I do have from my family. So I'm very, very grateful for all the support that they gave me until today.
Thank you.
Thank
you. I think we have another question over here.
Are you playing any shows in New York while you're here?
No, now. We was playing at the Jazz Standard tonight and at the end of July. Yeah. But
And my second is, I was wondering if you could just talk about the future of jazz music and what you think, like where it's going, because I feel like it's been a medium that's kind of stayed standing still for a long time, and I'm wondering, where do you see it going in the future?
the jazz in general.
Yeah.
Well, I think that there is a lot of young musicians trying things. It's sometimes hard because jazz is not getting that big attention in the world, unfortunately. But still great festival all around the world, in Europe, in Asia, here in the States. So there is a lot of young people trying to do things. That's where we are trying to do, to take from what we know, from our heritage, and put new things into that. So there is people doing here in the States. In New York is one of course, is the top of the top. Here there is so many jazz artists from all around the world. But there is people, I mean, in Europe, there is people in Cuba. There is a lot of young people doing things incredibles. They are, unfortunately, not everyone is able to take his art to here. But I think that I don't know. I don't know for sure, but we will try. We will try to get the jazz active, of course, and get attention from more people. Yeah.
I have one last question for you, and it's about the last song that you're going to play for us.
Okay.
Which I believe is called Hialeah.
Oh, we just play it.
Oh, you already played it.
Well, sorry, I always change the
order.
The schedule. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
But Hialeah is a neighborhood in Miami, where a lot of Cubans live there. It's like a little Cuba. You go there and there's people playing domino on the street. Music is loud, and people are they share sugar and chicken also over there. So it's almost like Cuba. And when I was there, my first time was they blow my mind. So I wrote this little piece for Hialeah, and I call it like that.
And what does it mean to you? What is Hialeah and more broadly Miami?
Oh, in Cuba, we listen a lot of bad things about Miami people. They are again Cuba, then again our political over there. And when I first visited Miami, I was like at home, and I have so many friends over there. I have family, friends. It's almost Cuba. When I get out from the plane, they speak Spanish.
Right.
They are close to the United States,
Right.
but they are almost Cuba. So I feel so well over there, and all the time that I get there, I have a great time. So I love Miami.
Well, I actually think that kind of brings us full circle to where we started, that your life's experience, your music, is really testament to the fact that we have so much in common.
Definitely.
So much to learn from each other and so much to share back and forth and with the rest of the world. So thank you for doing that here with us at Google New York.
My pleasure.
And you have one more song for us.
Oh, yeah. So as I change let me see. I think that we're going to play a song by my brother. The name is Guajira. And Guajira is a kind of music from the country.
The
of
countryside.
Cuba. The countryside of Cuba. So like a country music from Cuba. I don't know. Something like that. So Guajira, we're going to play for you.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.